What is up, everyone? Welcome to this amazing episode of the Client Spotlight series. I am here in Costa Rica living my best life, and I'm so excited to interview Alex Kemp, who's one of my delightful clients from the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind, who broke all the damn rules. And she made $46,000 in 12 weeks by not following like literally any of the rules that most marketing people talk about. And so Alex, welcome. I can't wait to share with everybody and just give them a sense of liberation so that they know that they can do things their own way. So welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And please introduce yourself so that everybody knows who you are and what you do.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here because it was one of the best, no, not one of the best mastermind I've ever been a part of. So I can't wait to share my experience. And for a little about me, I'm Alex, and I help people who have a calling on their heart. And that's different for everybody. And so I love this that we get to start here because my biggest thing was around what is my niche? What do I do? And I realized that it's the same thing for everyone in their own different way. And I help people who feel a calling for more and to know that there's a bigger version of themselves that wants to come alive. And I help them get clear on that and then take action towards it. So that's a little bit about what I do. And
So
there's
good.
so much more to that.
Yeah, there's so much more to that, and you're just so amazing at what you do. Like your clients' testimonials, your clients' experiences, your clients, like everything that I know about your clients is like they're delighted. So if this speaks to anyone who's watching this video, please reach out to Alex. And so let's get started with, for people who are watching, they've probably been following me for a little while, or maybe they're brand new to Juliana Garcia and the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind, but tell us a little bit about where were you at in your business as a coach before you joined, and like what was the thing that made you want to join, that you were like, okay, I really need help with this, and I know that Juliana or the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind will be super helpful for that. Where were you at? What were you experiencing that felt a little crunchy and maybe even a little vulnerable to share?
Yeah. So I was going through one of the biggest transitions in my life. It was a breakup of a 9.5 year relationship. And during that time period, I was going through a total death of who I knew myself to be, what I knew my life to be, and what I knew my business to be. And so I had hit my first 6-figure year the year before. And when this all came up, I just felt like I needed to go all in on that process and really be with it. And I kept feeling this pull to join Magnetize and Monetize as the next mastermind and the next thing that I do. So you know this, but during that time period, I took a break from coaching and I actually coached myself for 6 months. And I believe that was inspired by a video I saw of you doing that because I had been following you for a year and a half. And so when I was in the middle of this breakup, there was this one day where I was like, I know that who I'm being called to be on the other side of this is, an even greater expression of what I'm currently doing in my coaching and my business, and I want support in that. And so I had been following you for a year and a half because I met you once in 2020.
Yeah.
And from that point on, I just saw all these client testimonials and even friends that I knew who were in your program crushing it. And I was like, I just trust her. And if all these people are doing it, I can do it too. So
Yes.
I ended up enrolling in the June cohort. And
Yeah.
I actually want to touch on that for a second because that I knew intuitively that it wasn't the time, but I knew that I wanted to do the mastermind. So I had all this stuff come up, and I ended up asking Juliana to do the September cohort. And why I wanted to bring that up is because enrolling early and then having that on the horizon for me was so powerful because
Yeah.
it kept me at knowing that was the caliber that I was going to be playing life at, even if I was in the trenches, even if I was going through my process. That was my vision, and I wanted to stay committed to that. So that was a beautiful part of the process of enrollment for me.
So good. And tell me a little bit about like what were the things. So in your business, on a practical level, like what support were you really craving so that people who are watching this maybe can relate? Like, oh yeah, that problem I was experiencing. Oh yeah, that problem. Like, what were your fears around marketing? What was? I mean, you already had hit your first six-figure year, but at that point, a lot of people dream of that. And so then, what
Yeah.
happens when when you get there? What were kind of like the problems that you were experiencing that you knew that you wanted support around, like on a more practical level?
Yeah, so I had been in business for 4.5 years at that point, and I could never articulate what I do. Like I just anytime I'd be at a networking event and someone would ask what I do, I was like, I don't know how to describe it. And I was like, if I could solve that problem alone, that would be so valuable because I know that I'd be more convicted. And so I knew that I had a gap in my marketing. And a lot of it was because I was overthinking it and trying to get it right, trying to
Yeah.
be perfect, trying to get the Instagram bio that I've already changed 1,000 times, to which it comes up so much in this program. And because I was doing pretty well and I was mostly referral based, I knew that in order for me to step into the next evolution, I wanted to get online more and be more consistent. And so that was where I was at. I just knew that you had the key to the one part that I was struggling with so much, which was marketing.
Yeah, so good. Okay, perfect. And so you decided to join the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind, and tell us a little bit about what were all the rules that you thought you had to follow in order
Yes.
to attract more, because your price, so by the way, everybody, you wanted to raise your prices, just so they know, right? You decided
Yeah.
to now charge, what were you charging before, and then what do you charge now?
So I had one 15K client from the past, but I thought that that was a fluke. And so I went back down all the way to 7 or 8K.
Right.
And sometimes I would even be in such low self-worth around it. I would be like, okay, no, 6. And then I started to feel resentful because mostly towards myself, because I knew that I was shrinking instead of
Right.
expanding.
Yeah.
And so I want to be 10K coaching packages. That's what I desire. And so the first thing was raising my price and getting convicted about why that is the best gift I can also give my clients, because one thing you said was the price is the portal for their transformation. And so it's at a price point where they have to believe in themselves. And I
Yeah.
love that because that's what Healing and Magnetize and Monetize did for me.
Yeah.
And then the other aspect of that was our first call. I thought I needed to have a niche. I thought I needed to know exactly how to encapsulate my clients' results in one sentence.
Right.
And you're just like, fuck that. You don't need that. And
Literally.
that permission slip freed up so much space. Like for years, I've been searching for this one thing, right? And then I'm expecting you to give it to me and to tell me what to do. You tell me the opposite thing. That was exactly what I needed to hear, because instead of fixating on getting it right, I reconnected with my essence
Yeah.
and my self-expression that goes beyond saying the right words.
Yeah. Oh my God, so good. So like, fuck the niche. That was basically the vibe. I was like, you don't seem like the type of gal that is about to fit. Like no matter what I would say, it's always gonna leave some part of you out. So if anyone is ever wondering like what kind of coaching do I give you, it's never going to be the same for every person. Like for some people I'm like it's this way, but it really depends
Mm-hmm.
on each individual and your personality and where you're at and the kind of work that you do and just the coaching that each person needs. And that's the coaching that you
Mm-hmm.
needed in the moment. And so for anyone who's listening to this and maybe has felt like Alex feels or felt before, which was like, I just don't know if I can encapsulate everything in one sentence, like come in for coaching and Magnetize, because you never know what kind of liberating answer I'm gonna give you so that you actually get past that and
Mm-hmm.
really are able to just do the work that actually matters, which is connecting with your ideal clients,
Mm-hmm.
connecting with yourself, with your belief in what you sell, and really knowing how to articulate it in a way that's gonna make people feel like, oh my God, this is absolutely what I need right now.
Absolutely. It was
So
so
good.
freeing for me.
So good. Okay, so tell me a little bit about, so we broke the rules of the niche, we broke the rules of like what you think you need to do. What happened in terms of money? Let's talk a little bit about money, because money, you kind of had like this big thing and this price point, then you went down. So tell us a little bit about what was helpful inside of the program that helped you get your belief back to what you wanted, which was to sell $10,000 offers, packages.
Well, I remember the first time that I pitched that to somebody, and I realized that I'm asking this person to show up and lead themselves to these greater possibilities, and I'm going to play small. That doesn't work. That's not
Right.
congruent with what I'm preaching. And so I remember how nerve-wracking I felt, or nervous I was. And when I put it out there, it was like, and her response was, I'm so excited to pay you that. And she was a previous client who re-enrolled with me 2 years later. And she's like, I feel honored that I get to pay you that. And I know how powerful this work is. And I'm so happy to join this container. And I was like, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
um, and it was that moment where I realized, no, it's not a fluke. It's that I have put so much work and invested so much into mastering my craft and
yeah,
being the best coach that I could be, which is a never ending journey. And
yeah.
I know that I can deliver that kind of experience for my clients. And so a lot of it was the mindset work we did. And even when you talking about your business like you're in love with it, like you're talking about your lover. At that time I was falling in love. And so it was super fresh for me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I get it now. I'm not viewing my business that way. And as soon as I brought in that energy, I noticed like my magnetism just increased. And
Yeah.
that's why I love that word is in the mastermind, because for me, that was my journey. It was like becoming more convicted. And then the right clients were magnetized to me. And because of my belief in myself.
Go figure. Isn't that the most delicious way to attract clients? It's like it's like, yes, we give you guys, if you join Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind, or when you do, we give you all the practical, we have copy coaching, we got going all the tactics and the strategies, but like really the core that makes this program so different is that for some reason, however it happens, I just coach you so deeply to the level that you need to raise your belief to a certain point where it just radiates out of your pores. And then it's just like a magnetic attraction that the premium clients just want to pay you. And the question that I get most is like, but where are these premium clients? Where do they hide? Like, where are they? And like, premium clients are everywhere. It's just that we're not speaking to them. We're not even seeing them as premium clients. We think they don't have the money, therefore they show up as not having the money. And this is all a paradigm that we shift inside Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind. And so I love that you were so receptive to the coaching, and that now you got that felt experience in your body of like, oh my God, this actually comes from me. The money comes from my own self-belief. And then I can say whatever words I want to say, but with the energy that I say them, like it's just going to pull them forward, and it's just going to feel delicious. So I love that so much.
Yeah, it's like the best news ever. Oh, how you attract more clients is that you love yourself more deeply, and you love the work that you do more deeply, and you
Yeah.
choose to anchor into those beliefs.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
so good.
and I
It is
feel
so
like
good.
I feel like another thing is that I know my thoughts create my reality, but when you took us through that process, I was like, oh, that's how. It's not
Yeah.
this woo-woo concept. It's just very kind of pragmatic
Practical.
in a way. And so I got to really see what I was choosing in my life. And I realized that if I want premium clients, then I get to show up in a premium way, however I define that to me. And that to me is self-responsibility
Yeah.
and self-leadership. And
Yeah.
so I got to experience that in your program a lot.
Oh, so good. I love that. Oh, you're so dreamy. So, okay, let's talk a little bit about what was surprising about the program, because people want to know, there's so many marketing programs out there, and like, yay for the coaching industry. We have lots of coaches coming in. Yay, so fun. And so like, what is different? What was surprising about the coaching inside Magnetize? How did you feel as a client? What is it like to be coached by me? What is it like to be coached by, the people that we have supporting? What is it like to be a part of the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind? Because I think it's important, especially now, I know, even for myself, I want to feel like I matter. I want to feel like people care about me. I want to feel like this is not just I'm just not just sending money over and then like people don't care, right? And so, and I think that the industry is just elevating to really shedding anything that's not actually like really deeply caring for the client. So tell us a little bit about what was your experience like being in the program, what was your pricing, or anything that you were like, I totally expected that to be the vibe because you totally talk about it all the time. Tell us a little bit about like client experience inside of the program. What was it like?
Yeah, so I think it does something that within the first week, I was like, it was worth $11,000 or however much I paid. And that was because someone checked in on me and wanted to make sure they knew how to optimize the program. And she checked in multiple times. Shout out Charmaine.
Yeah.
And the copy coaching was so powerful too. Like right when I met Parmise, I'm like, I just want to be Parmise when I grow up.
Yeah.
And I just feel like the caliber of your client delivery, I mean, for me, it was the best of anything I've ever experienced in a coaching program. And I've done my fair share.
Yeah.
And so I just really felt like the way that it's set up is so supportive. And it made me realize, too, even going through the first module of the success standards, that I will get whatever I need in that program and whatever I put into it, because it's all there for me. It is all there, really. Like there's nothing. And then that reinforces the reality that my beliefs are, my results are my responsibility, because all the things are right there for me, and I just get to use what feels the best. So that,
So
yes. And I want to say you are the first coach that I've worked with where I'm blown away by how much you trust your client's intuition and you integrate that into your program, and you have your clients coach themselves and then you offer your coaching as well. And to me, that's a huge part of the change that I was looking for in the coaching industry. Not to make any of the other stuff wrong, I just feel like that really elevated the client experience. And because I was struggling with self-trust, and you're like, I trust you, I believe in you, I see you, so let's, tap into your natural wisdom. That was super powerful for me as well.
oh my God, thank you for saying that. That is so beautiful. I think it's the only way forward. I mean, I'm not God. I realized just a little while ago that I'm not God, so I don't have all the answers, and the answers come from all of you guys, And so for me, it's all about amplifying your inner wisdom so that there's no codependence, so that there's no like this feeling of like, I can't survive without my coach. If my coach doesn't tell me what to do, then I don't know what I'm doing, and like, or I feel disempowered, any of that. And you actually chose to continue your journey in our coaching relationship, and you ascended into the Momentum Mastermind. So we don't have to go into that too much, but I'm curious, what made you want to continue the coaching and the journey after the 3 months of Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind?
Well, the mastermind is called Momentum, which is exactly what I was seeking.
Yeah.
I had so many powerful realizations and up levelings in Magnetize and Monetize, and I think that there's so much power in sticking with someone in the long term. And immediately from that first call, when you told me that I don't need a niche and you really saw me, I was like, okay, she gets me and she knows who I am, and that's who I want in my corner as well. Someone who sees me and sees what I'm trying to do here and can hold me to the caliber that I want to be held at. And so I just wanted to stay consistent with what I was already creating.
So good. I love that. And I'm so honored that you're in here, and I can't wait to do this year together. It's going to be so fun. Okay. And so, what would you say to somebody who is on the fence, maybe watching this, and who's like, oh my God, I've been wanting to, or who the fuck is this person? Wait, what? How can these miracles be created? Maybe they're checking out the sales page and they're like, all these people are creating these results, but oh my God, I don't know, I'm afraid maybe to do it now, or maybe they're a little bit on the fence. What would you say to them? Because you were one of them at some point, right?
Yeah,
so like, what
totally.
would you say to them if they're on the fence?
Yeah. Well, let's just say I watched you for a year and a half, if that says anything. And I knew I was already working with some coaches, so I was, not trying to stack. But by the time I was so ready, and because of the nature of what I was going through, I was struggling to believe in myself and my vision and trust myself. And even though I have invested many times before, the unique part of this experience is there was no sales call. And so I just got to fully trust that I was drawn to you for a reason. And another thing is that, in a sense, your clients do the selling for you, because I had a friend who was in it. So I talked to her about it, and I, asked her experience. And now I've had people do the same for me, and I've referred them to you. And it's because it's so genuine that I had such a powerful experience in the mastermind that I want to share, and other people feel that way too.
Yeah.
And so for me, even though it seemed like the illusion of, oh, well, that's, a lot to pay for not knowing her directly. I mean, I had met you, so I felt your energy, and I vibed right away. But, I was like, that's a lot to pay someone I've never met before, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what came up for me in that is, uh, it was not really about the money. It was, do I trust myself to get the results that I want to get? And, there were times in previous coaching containers where I was the one who didn't show up. And then, I had all these questions. Was it the right time? Yada, yada. And it was so powerful for me the day that I hit pay now, I remember, because I was just making a declaration that I was going to believe in myself, and I was going to trust myself. And that's the exact thing that I received from Magnetize, was trusting myself and believing in myself and being so convicted that I can create the life that I want. And I also believe, as a coach and someone who helps other people with that, it's vital that I go first and I lead in my own way as well.
You're so amazing. That was so beautiful. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. That was beautiful. And I trust that that's going to land with every human that came across this specific interview at this specific time, whenever that is, because it truly is all about self-trust. And yeah, there is no sales call for this, because I really just believe that the people that are magnetized to this container are gonna be able to trust themselves, and they're gonna be able to know that this is exactly where they need to be, that they're gonna be delighted, and that each call is $10,000 worth of wisdom. And like, really, you walk away with, yes, a lot of like money wins, and like, I mean, you made half of your income. What you used to make in 6 months, you ended up making it in 3 months. Like, you collapse the damn timeline. So like, yes, all of that is great, but really the juiciest part of this whole experience is who you get to see yourself as, and is this really powerful version of you that just needed a little bit of love and direction and a little bit of coaching, and like, here you are. So it's such an honor to be in your corner, and congratulations. The credit is all yours. I take zero credit for my clients' results and zero blame. This is all you implemented it. It's all in there. So for anyone who is watching, who wants to clarify their message to attract premium clients, and who really feels called to make 2023 a year where you just really get back into your power, and where you have the practical support. This is not just like, let me coach you on your mindset and then you'll be off and figuring it out on your own. Like, we give you super practical support and strategy, client attraction, sales calls, how to do it with love, with your own essence, like how to like really do it in a way that feels wholesome, and that gives you a business that just has really high profit margins. Like, we teach you all of that inside Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind. So I think it's really the only place where there's like multidimensional, there's energetic support, there's mindset support, there's practical support, and just a lot of love and care. So if anyone feels like that is the type of support that you're craving, go and apply. I'm going to drop the link in the comments while Alex says her final words. Anything else that she wants to add?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be sitting on this call if I didn't fully believe that this mastermind is life-changing. It really did change the game for me. And something I just want to say is, the things that ripple out from that one decision to click pay now, it's just immeasurable in a sense. And so a lot of this program for me was about realizing that I don't need to be perfect. I don't need to have the perfect message, and it doesn't need to be the perfect time. And even I had sales calls where I pitched 10 grand and I did not feel good that day.
Yes.
And I still made money.
Yes.
I wasn't in the perfect manifesting state or whatever I thought I needed to be in. So I really wanted to bring that in here. It was like, I just get to be myself, and to keep recommitting and recentering in who I want to be and who I am in this moment. And that's what created wealth on so many levels, not only financially, but all the levels.
Oh, so good. I forgot to talk about that in the beginning of this because that was so good. And oh, you guys, this is so important that you remember, like, part of being wealthy and not just actually making money. It's not tied to whether you feel good or not on the day. Like, you can make a lot of money even if you don't feel perfectly fine and perfectly aligned and joyful and whatever. There's a lot of, like, this happens a lot in the container where we break down that, like, paradigm of, like, I have to feel good and be perfect all the time in order to attract the perfect life and have the perfect wealth. And it's like, actually, all of that is not required. It's just a lot of pressure. So I love that you brought that up because that's another rule that you broke. And for anyone who's watching, you can break that rule too, and we help you break it inside the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind. So thank you, Alex, for being here. Where can people find you if they want to work with you, if they want to have more of your energy and explore, working together?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at alex.unfolding, and I have some exciting new things coming too. So keep an eye out.
Yes, so good. And we have Rebecca Davison saying, who is also part of the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind, just saying, I highly recommend Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind. Yes, so much love to you, Rebecca. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you all for watching. Go ahead and apply right now. Right now. This is your sign. This is your sign. Go ahead and apply. Put that $500 deposit. I will read your application. I'll tell you the truth. If I feel like you're ready, you'll get an acceptance email. If I feel like you're not ready yet, which I tell a lot of people, this is not the right time, you'll also get my absolute honest truth. So love you all so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Alex, for being here. And I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.